Bienvenidos, damas y caballeros, a la semana número 15. Esta semana, los Vikings de Minnesota tienen un partido de fútbol con los cargadores de Los Angeles. Porque ellos están de San Diego, mucho cerca de México. Yo comienzo esta semana con un poco español y yo tengo una camisa más apropiada para el calor en el sur de California. Don't worry, I know not everyone loves foreign films, so I'm not going to do the whole thing in Spanish. I just thought it'd be fun to start off with some. I don't get to use it very often anymore. Anyway, as I said, this week the Vikings have the Chargers in LA, formerly of San Diego, so the music you heard was the Aquabats, a kind of ska punk rock band from San Diego, which is where the Chargers should be from still. This is going to be a very interesting week as the Vikings and the Chargers both have this insane penchant for losing games that they really should win and doing it in spectacular fashion. So I'll get into that in a second, but first we should talk about the beer, right? This week we have the Badger Porter from Sand Creek Brewing Company in Black River Falls, Wisconsin. Always down to try a porter. Let's pop the top. All right. So not the darkest porter I've had yet, but you can see there it is pretty dark. Let's try it out. That's interesting. Very very sweet, I want to say, caramely. I don't know if I'm getting any particular flavor out of it, but the bouquet, or the profile, if you will, is pretty good. It's I don't want to look at my face to make it seem like I'm not enjoying it. It's very good. I'm just not sure if I can put my finger on like the flavor. It's on camera. It's not quite as obvious as it is in here. How it is kind of clear, kind of amber-ish. It's smooth. It's silky, I guess I would say. And honestly, kind of one of the easier drinking porters I've had. Like, this does seem like something you could have several of without like your belt popping. Tasty. Definitely caramel or cocoa. There's some nice flavor in there. Okay, on to the game. I will keep it as short and sweet as I possibly can because no one wants to listen to me for this long. I expect today to be a pretty low-scoring game. The Chargers have a pretty solid defense that's really good at stopping the pass and putting pressure on the quarterback, although they did bench cornerback Desmond King without really any explanation why. It wasn't an injury or anything, which could mean that with the Vikings getting Adam Thielen back, Casey Hayward has to choose between covering Thielen or Diggs, and that should open one of them up, hopefully. I'm not really sure where the Vikings are going to go with the ball outside of Dalvin Cook. And I think with the pressure that the front seven from the Chargers are going to put on him, he's going to have to do his famous check down routine or just hand the ball off a lot. Not saying it's impossible for Diggs to get open. He's an impeccable route runner. Or for Thielen, even off of his long-standing hamstring injury, he might be able to make some things happen too. I don't think it's impossible that the Vikings move the ball well. I just don't expect them to. Similarly, the Chargers, who, I've kind of rooted for them because they've had some really heartbreaking years. Last year or 2 years ago, they had like 8 games that they lost by 4 points or less or something like that. And they weren't a bad team. They just kept getting these bad breaks, and I felt for them. Also, Phillip Rivers, the quarterback, for those of you, Mom, is a lot of fun to watch. And I've always rooted for him because he just seems like a goofy, nice guy. And I want him to do well. I think he might be kind of getting up there, though, and his arm just doesn't have the strength it used to. But against the Vikings' floundering secondary, he could find Keenan Allen and Hunter Henry and, honestly, Austin Eckler a bunch. I don't really see Melvin Gordon getting a lot of run against the Vikings' front seven, but I think it's possible the defense gets spread out, trying to help prevent short check-down style passes to Hunter Henry, the tight end, and Austin Eckler, the running back. And maybe that will mean that Melvin Gordon is able to find some openings later on in the game. Ultimately, like what I led off with, is I don't know how this game's going to go because both teams have this like wild card in them that they can't seem to buck. It could be a like 55-50 victory. I think it's more likely that it's like a 21-17 kind of game where the defenses hold both short-range passers in check I would love it if Cousins was able to uncork a couple deep passes and blow the game open that way. The Vikings stats on the road outside are pretty glaringly bad. You know, I never know how much stock to put. These are all professional football players. They all, I'm sure, played football on grass in high school and college. It's not like it's this foreign substance that they have to walk on, but it is also to the point where the statistics would appear to have some significance. I don't know. I'm not a math guy. I'm a beer guy. Anyway, I hope your holiday season is going very well and is slightly less hectic than mine has been. Hectic but fun. Next week, the Vikings and Packers play on Monday Night Football, and I am bringing back Corey Krenz, my favorite arch nemesis and diehard Packer fan, to do a check-in on our teams leading into our NFC North showdown and wrapping up the year. So be sure to stay tuned for that. I'm very excited about it. I'm excited to have a guest again. Thank you, as always, so much for watching. Skål for fair. And go Vikings.